Welcome back to a brand new episode of Mastering Programming. My name is David. I develop websites and apps. This is my website. You can visit me or contact me through here. And I have at the moment 167 websites that I maintain, update, and work with. If you need any help, or if you would like to request a course, or even just support on any ticket or anything that you'd like to get done, make sure you do reach out through my email and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. In today's episode, what I want to do is I want to show you how we can use dynamic pages. Dynamic pages are so important, they're very useful, and they actually save you a lot of time. And it's a bit of a tool that a lot of people in Wix, using Wix, tend to not use it for some reason, but I'm going to show you exactly how you can use it and all the magical things that you can do using it. Without further ado, let's get started. Now, I have my development website. It's a website I just use when I'm testing new features or when I'm making YouTube videos. So I'm going to go ahead and edit that website. And I'm going to show you how you can not just use dynamic pages, but how you can also submit forms and programmatically or automatically, generate dynamic pages. So all I want to do is actually, I'm going to go ahead and create an entirely new page. I want it to be a blank page, just like this. There we go. And just to make things look clearer, I'm just going to remove no header and footer, just like that. Now, before anything, what I want you to do is I want you to head to that top menu over here, and I want you to click on dev mode. And over here, mine is already on. Yours might say turn on dev mode. Make sure you do turn it on. Once you turn it on, you will realize that a bottom tab over here appears, and here you can put all the code that you need. For now, we're actually not going to be using any code, but I just wanted to show you where you can put it in the future. You also realize that on the left side here, you now have a bunch of easy access to a few things, such as developer tools, VLO help, databases, which is CMS, it's exactly the same, and so on. Now, there is so many ways that we can create a dynamic page, but the best way or the most useful way is to create a dynamic page and use information from a database to populate that page. Before anything, let's just first understand what a dynamic page is. How is it different from other normal pages, and why you should use it. A normal page is a page that you create, just how I created this page over here, and I added it, I gave it a name, and if I was to design stuff, I would manually keep adding text, I'd keep adding buttons, and so on. Now, what happens if I want to create another page that looks exactly the same? Maybe I can duplicate that page, and so on. Well, what if I want to create 100 pages that look exactly the same? And even further, what if you want to create a way so that when a customer can create a user profile, for example, like Facebook or Instagram, surely a developer will not have to go every single time someone creates a new account and create them a page. And this is where dynamic pages come in. It's a page where you only set it up once, and then it uses information saved somewhere else, usually in a database, to then create as many copies of that page that you already designed and styled based on how many items are available in that database. That's exactly what we're going to do. Now, first off, before anything, I want to create the database. So remember, we're going to be using dynamic pages, and the reason for that is because we want to be able to replicate one page as many times as we want, and we want it to be unlimited. Every time a page gets added, we want it to reflect that. So what I'll do is I'll straight away just go to CMS. I'll click on your collections. I'll create a collection over here. And for now, start from scratch. Let's just say maybe customers DB. And you can call it anything, that's just what I'm calling it because I already think I have a customers database. But anyway, this will be the name. I'll click on create. Now here, we already have a title. And think of this basically as your database. Think of it as an Excel sheet. And each row will be a different item. It can also be a different page. For example, I can come over here and let's just populate it. We've got text. Let's say, for example, choose field. I want it to be first name. Let's create another one over here. And we'll call that one last name. Over here, let's go ahead and select image. And finally, let's just put one more, and this will be rich content. Rich text. Okay. Now I'm actually going to add one item here. So here I'll say first item. For the first name, let's put my name, last name, Bullis. image. Here we can include any image we want. So I'm just going to include the image because it's the first one that popped up. And for rich text, I'm just going to say, hello, this is meant to be a long piece of text. There we go. So now assume that this is a user account where they've entered the first name, last name, a profile photo, and some text or a bio about them. Imagine there's hundreds of these. We don't want to go in and manually create a page for each of them. And this is where things come up. I'm gonna go ahead and actually before anything, let's actually look into the permissions. And just because this is our website now, I want to make sure everyone has access to this information like that. Save. So what I would do from this point, if I want to automatically create a page for everything, is I would go ahead and close this. Let's close it. Oh, let's go over here. So to your collection, go to Customer DB, click on the three dots, and here click on Add Dynamic Page, just like that. Now ask you for templates on what you would like to do. We can actually go ahead and select this one. I think this one has a title, text, paragraph, and an image, which is actually kind of what we added. So I'm going to add the site. And now we have this page automatically connected to our database. And you can see that it's actually straight away pulling the information that we included. So if you remember, I added first name, David, this image, and bullets. And that's exactly what we're getting. Let's just make sure this looks a little bit better. Like this. And I'm just going to put it next to it. I'm just making things look better. I'm also going to remove this and this and this. There we go. And oh, we actually had some text. So let's just make sure. Whoa. Let's make sure we add the user bio. Just imagine that this is a user bio. Now, let's say I want to change what each of these is connected to in that database. All you need to do is come over here, click on it. You can go over here and say which item you want to link it to. So I'll say I want it to be the rich text. And here you go, we get the text. And any other item that you add, so any other more text or image or anything like that, you just need to click on it. It says the image source connects to, and then you connect it to the item that you want it to. Where here, for example, I click here, you can see title, first name, last name, rich text, whatever. And as you add more items in your database, more information will be showing. And we can actually do that straight away. So let's go back over here to CMS, your collections, contact detail, customers database. And let's say I come over here and I select text. And let's say age, save. So see how this item is empty? I'm going to say 25. And now I can just drag any other text, put it, let's say, over here. Now at the moment it's empty, but I can just select it, text connects to, and over here I can select age, and it should straight away start showing it. Very easy, very simple. Now I'll click publish, just so that we can publish it. And before anything, there's just something very important that we got to do. So at the moment, obviously there needs to be a link for each of these, each of the pages that get generated. For example, on Facebook, if you go to your account, you realize that at the very end, it says your account name, for example, or your account ID. We want to let Wix know what should it use as that link at the end. So I'm going to click on this icon. I'll go to dynamic pages. I'll go to the dynamic pages that I'm on now. Click on the three dots, click on settings, go to SEOs, and you'll see that here at the moment, it's simply just using the title, which is not enough because you can have the same title for things, or you can have the same first name for things. So let's go ahead and click on edit, or click add variable and add ID, because the ID is automatically generated. We can guarantee that it will be different every single time. Save. And yes, replace existing URLs. Amazing. So now we will just need to publish. And here we go. Now, why is this useful? Well, let me show you a few things. Now, if I go back here and click on select site, you can go to CMS and you've got that page, that database. And let's say you have an Excel sheet with like 30 customers. Well, you can upload them like in one go by coming over here and clicking on, clicking on more actions, import items, and you can import all the items that you have. Let's even if there were 20,000 at once, and all of a sudden you've got 20,000 pages, or differently based on the rows. And I'm going to show you as an example. I'll come over here and I'll say second item, and here I'll say Mark. Here I'll say Harry. Here let's just add any photo. I hope I've got anything here. That's me. Let's just select that one. And here I'll say second largest text. And for the age, let's just put 30. Now you can see that we've got a link for that one. And if I click on this, you can see that the page is actually generated and it's live straight away. And so if I had 100 of these uploaded at once, it will also be available. And this one is also available. If I go ahead and click here, you can see that now there's a dynamic page. It doesn't matter how many pages we have. Once you set the style, the text, the image, and what it connects to, it will automatically adjust the information here and the content here to reflect what's inside of your database. I'll show you one more thing before we end this episode, and that is how you can now add a form that adds to this dynamic page. So let's go ahead and create and go back to that blank page that we created. I think it was that one. Yep. So what I want to do is I want to add a form here, and when people submit it, it automatically creates a row here with information. So remember, we want to collect the title, the first name, last name, image, rich text, and age. This gets generated automatically. So let's go back over here, and all I'll do is I'll add, scroll down to input. I'm going to add over here, and obviously this is all meant to look really ugly, like this. And let's change it from email to just be normal text. Here I'll say title. Let's just duplicate that. This will be the first name one. This will be the last name one. And let's just have a quick look. We had title, first name, last name, image, rich text. Okay. So let's just expand this. Let's go to buttons and add the button to upload an image. And again, not meant to look good. So we had title, first name, last name. Let's actually just add the age as well. This is meant to upload an image. Yeah, one, that's great. And finally, just a rich text, which it can actually just be an input field like this. Amazing. So these are all the things that we need. Oh, and we need a button to actually submit this. So let's just add this one, and instead of it just saying button, let's just change it to submit. So what I want to do is that this information that the user is going to enter, once they click submit, I want it to create a dynamic page or a new page based on the information that they've placed here. So to do this, we need to click on this plus icon over here, and we need to scroll down to CMS, and we need to add a data set. And over here, you can click choose a collection. I'll select the one that we created. So I'm basically adding the customer database here on this page so that we can have access to it. And I'll just call it this. Oops. Create. Amazing. So now I can come over here and actually, you need to click on data set settings. Make sure this is set to right because we're adding, not reading. So now I can go over here and I can say value connects to title. This one connects to first name. This one connects to last name. This one connects to age. And this one was meant to be the rich content. And I think for that one, actually, we might just need to add a different kind of field. So it might be text box, rich text box, yeah. And it just had to be a different dimension. Let's just put it like that. And now we can come here and say rich text, okay? And for the image, because I always forgot, so file connects to image. Now for the button, we're gonna click over here and we're going to say click action connects to submit. So when someone clicks on this, I want them to submit it. And when they click on it and it gets submitted properly, can't see this button over here. It says stay on this page. No, I want it to say go to the customer DB, and in brackets it says item. So it's saying once the user submits it, go to the item or that dynamic page that they just created. Amazing. Now I'm actually going to publish this. And let's test it live. So let's just shut this stuff. So here it is. That is the page. Remember, this is how much items we currently have, just 2. What I want to do is I want to come over here and I want to say live test, YouTube, Google, 20. And let's also upload a photo. Oh. I'll just upload any random photo and click submit. Now it might take a few seconds because of the image, but it got submitted and you can see that automatically a dynamic page or a page was generated for me without me having to go and duplicate it or design it. And it has the information that we put, the image, the title, first and last name, and the age, which is 20. Thanks so much for watching. This is really useful. I think it helps you create websites or pages really quickly. You've learned how to submit things to a database. You've learned how to fetch things and show on a page live. And I hope you really benefited. If you have any questions, please reach out to me using my website or on my email. I'll include it in the description below. Thank you again, and I hope to see you in the next episode.